Hello everyone, welcome back. This is season 14. We are coming off another playoff appearance, but this time a one and done. We had kind of a young team that we transitioned to by the end of last year, and seen that they have a lot of potential, but they're not quite there yet in terms of being able to compete. So this offseason is going to be big in terms of setting us up for the future. So let's go ahead and get it started. Why isn't my controller working? Yay, technical difficulties. Alright, there we go. Controller's working again. Alright, so take a look at the team. I also have to cut practice squad players probably. I need a fullback. In terms of running backs, I think we're pretty good. We could use a power back though, and that would replace Blanton if we get a good power back. Do need a fullback. We are okay on wide receivers. In fact, we have 5, so we're good. We are okay on tight end. I'm not going to go out and get another one, but I would like to see Demarius take a few more steps forward. I think we needed a right guard. Yes, we need a right guard, although Carl could probably play if we need him to. But it would be nice to have a better right guard. Let's see, defensive ends. Keep Dion Terrell since he's cheap. Let's go ahead and get rid of these guys though. Okay, so it looks like we're good at defensive end. Good at defensive tackle. I do need a left outer linebacker, specifically a pass coverage one, and another middle linebacker too. Now Cummings is a guy that we drafted last year, so he just needs some time to develop. We are good at cornerback. Whoops, not straight away. Okay, good at cornerback, good at free safety. Hold on, strength. We have a 72 of strength. 73 zone coverage. Tackling could use some work. As could his block shedding. I'm curious how this guy is at left outer linebacker. Okay, so he only ended up being a 71. We'll go ahead and move him back to free safety. Probably the main reason he was only a 71 was because he has safety skills specifically, not skills that a linebacker could use, like that block shedding. But yeah, I mean, I would like to see maybe a run support strong safety drop down to left outer linebacker and then build up the pass coverage. That way, I'm going to move this guy with a strong safety. That way we can get the pass coverage of a safety at linebacker but still have the ability to stop the run. Okay, so left outer linebacker, middle linebacker, right guard, and fullback are what we need. I'll take a look at free agents. I know there's a couple people like who was Osborne was our fullback, so we could bring him back, though he's getting old. Ryan Allen's 26. So Zach Fowler. Wonder what their skills are. Okay, so really good lead block, and his run block is pretty decent. He's slow. Can do some power running. What about Zach? Okay, so Zach has the ability to be a blocker, but he is a little faster and more of a carrying back. So let's go for Zach Fowler. He's not as good of a blocker, obviously, as the other guy, but we're not running a power run system, so we don't necessarily need him to block much. But he does have the ability to do so. Alright, 6'2" deep threat wide receiver that's only 25. It's 5'11". 6'1". Unfortunately, his blocking is a little low. Otherwise, I was going to say maybe we bring him in as a tight end, but we'll give our tight end a chance to develop. All right. Let's just look at a couple of the top guys here. I'm not going to overpay to bring anyone in. So McKinney doesn't have any offers, and I remember that there's no first round talents at offensive line this year. Now I did offer this guy about what he wanted at a 1-year contract for last year, and he turned it down. So that mistake is going to cost him a little bit. Yeah, we'll just do 1 year. I was thinking maybe 2 years, but he'll probably retire or be to the point where Carl would be a better lineman. So we'll give him 1 year. Give him a chance to come back to Oklahoma City, and then have a job that'll also take the pressure off of us to find that right guard in a draft that doesn't really have one. All right. So we offered to a fullback and a guard. Now we need a pass coverage linebacker. Hey, Kevin Monroe's available still. Oh yeah, that's right. We let him go, and I was considering bringing him back. However, he is in his decline. He was like an 86 a couple years ago. Now then last year was an 82. Now he's on a 78. So I don't think. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer him the minimum. We drafted him. He's played his whole career here. I'll offer him the chance to finish his career here. And then, I'll make him like a backup middle linebacker or something. All right, and then is there a pass coverage middle linebacker? Kazim was, but he's old, and these guys are old and bad. So that'll be the 3 that we offer contracts to. Not a big deal if we don't get them, and if we do get them, it's team-friendly contracts. So, and they can help us out. As Let's finish up our scouting and get to the draft. Okay, so McKinney decided to come back. I do not remember what we were focusing on. I think I actually scouted all the positions we were focusing on. Maybe now I'll look at the draft grades. See if we can find someone who's projected to be undrafted and then get them as a hidden gem. We have the 12th, 13th, and 24th and 29th pick. He is a second-round talent. I'm half tempted to take that offer away from the fullback that we offered to and sign this guy. But I did offer the other guy a minimum contract, so we'll give the guy a chance to sign. Curious who the fastest wide receiver is this year. He's the most agile and quickest. Speed's a little low though. Would love to be able to sort by combine stats, or maybe even just have this whole scouting thing revamped to where it gives grades on things like the speed, jumping, agility, and all that based on their combine, and like kind of like when you're looking through your roster, how it has all the stats there. If you could just give grades. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be completely accurate or specifically tell you that player A is better than player B, but it would be nice to have all this information readily available. We still have not found the fastest wide receiver. In fact, I don't even think we found the top 3. Okay, so there's number 2. That must mean someone down here is the fastest. Right now, if you haven't already, you're probably thinking about just skipping through. Which I don't blame you, but that was the 4th fastest, by the way. Who is the fastest? There he is. So actually, both the first and second wide receiver had a 4.38. This guy's only 5'8". All right. Whoa, 7.2. Like it. Let's take a look at him. 6'4". Maybe we can draft a tight end and move him to fullback, be a utility fullback for us. Speaking of free agents. Okay, neither of them got offers, so. Whatever. Just scout all of them. Okay, so it looks like we'll be drafting our fullback and someone to be kind of that backup middle linebacker because Kevin Monroe decided not to sign with us. Alright, that's all I'm going to scout. The only thing I'm going to check now is make sure everybody I have put points into is scouted. Because last year we had a guy that only had one thing scouted, and that annoys me when I don't have a full scouting report on someone. Alright, so I have 137 people fully scouted, points left over, but I'm not going to scout any extra. Man, that is a good cornerback. That is someone I would consider drafting just to keep him as cornerback. His wide receivers look pretty decent stat-wise as well, but he's a little slow. This guy would probably make a good tight end. I mean, he's 6'3", so he has a little height. The route runner was the quickest and most agile, so he's probably going to be pretty decent. Take a look at him with one of our later picks. This guy's going to be good too. Alright, and then this was the one lineman I was thinking about picking up. Now, he's a second round talent, which means it's probably not going to be starter quality. And this guy here would probably be a really good power back for us. Here we go, here's a run support safety. Yeah, you would be a really good linebacker for us, I think, in our scheme. In most schemes, probably not a good linebacker, but in ours, I think he'd make a good one. So I'm putting a pin on him on someone that I am probably going to draft. This guy'd be pretty decent as well. We don't really need another elusive back, but for a 4th round projection and a 1st round talent, I'll put a pin in him. Here's a guy that could be our future fullback. .62 guy with the best vert. Has A in spectacular catch and good short route running. All right. Might pick him up a little later. And just in case things don't go well for us as far as picking up one of those tight ends, we can grab him late. Okay, I think we got our draft board set up, so I'm ready to get the hold to reorder bug. Let's go ahead and get to the draft. I'm...
The Browns are now on the clock.
I'll take a look and see if there's... I did really want this guy. Okay, so... I don't think I have enough to trade up and get... or trade up to the first pick anyway. Let's see what the Browns want. Because I'm afraid of losing that cornerback. I think he's someone that we're really going to need. Alright. Do I have a spare left end? I don't. Too bad they won't take a right end because I'd send Holloway their way. Could give him Aldridge. Not interested. Okay, how interested are you in draft picks? Not even close. Okay. Let's go ahead and see who they pick.
The Cowboys are now on the clock.
Okay, so they took left tackle. Cowboys? Ooh, they need a cornerback too. So... see if they're interested in either of these two guys. Okay, they're interested in Charleston. Problem is, Charleston's pretty darn good. Now, he is getting old, so I might be willing to give him up. Let's see how close this gets us. Okay, that gets us halfway. Has he been getting us interceptions? Okay, so he's gotten a couple the last few years. Some deflections as well. He's been giving up a lot of catches though. And he's getting old, which means in a couple years he's going to start getting worse. So, I think the smart move would be to go ahead and let him go.
Hold on now. This pick is trading teams.
Okay, so Charleston and a second round pick for the second overall pick. So we didn't give up any of our first rounders. And we're going to get the cornerback Rashad McQueen.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
75 overall, normal development trait. He has good stats. Still needs to develop, but he has good stats. I would have liked to see him maybe have been a star, but he was the third best player in the draft, so we didn't reach too much. I don't think we really gave up too much either, considering in 2 years he's going to be about as good as Charleston will be in 2 years. Now we do take a step back in our secondary for now. I will admit that, but
the Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
He will hopefully turn into a pretty good back for us. Alright. So now the question is, who do I take? Because I can get all of these guys with later picks. This is the only guy I'm in danger of not getting a little later. I think I'll take him.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on
Okay.
the clock.
Hidden development trait, so it means he's going to be at least a star. Not as good in coverage as the other guy, but his zone coverage is high enough that we can, boost that a little bit and then work on his man coverage. I'm kind of satisfied with that pick. Alright. I should probably go ahead and take this guy so that I don't have to worry about not having him later.
The Bills are now on the clock.
Yeah, I'm sure I did reach, and that's fine. But I wanted to make sure we got him.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, and let's see. Pick again in 5 picks. So it's going to be between these top 2 here. I don't think this guy is going to be starter quality. So I'll take Gerald Brown and hope that the right tackle
The
is there
Seahawks are now
with the
on the
next
clock.
pick. So that ended up being a good pick for us. Now we have to hope that that right tackle is
The
available.
49ers are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock.
Good, he is. Okay. I'm going to take the right tackle now, even though it's probably going to be a reach, but that's okay.
The Rams are now on the clock.
That was a big reach, and I was right. He's not starter quality. Maybe he gets there. Maybe not. I could have made a better pick with that one. I do admit that.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
All right. So we have the 8th pick this round, the 8th pick next round. So now we have to be a little more selective. Actually, I guess we don't because these guys aren't projected to go until way later. I really want Cunningham, but there's a better chance that he's available in the 3rd round. Whereas this guy, there's a chance that he won't be. And we do need a power back.
The Vikings are now on the clock.
Okay.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Awesome.
The
Our
Vikings are now on the clock.
gamble paid off. Okay, now how is this guy in blocking? 59 lead block, 64 impact block. So if need be, this guy could go to fullback.
The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
I can definitely get both of them later. Alright, is there anybody else that I could take now that would be worth taking over those guys though? Considering everything that we've taken so far, I don't really need many of these guys. So I'm leaning towards no. In fact, I'm wondering if maybe I'd be better off just trading this pick. See if I can get a third for next year. Nobody's offering me a third. I can get a fourth and a seventh next year. I'll go ahead and take it, I guess.
How
It's
come
probably a
nobody's at
better
the
value
podium?
than what I can get
That's because
now.
both teams are right now working on a trade. The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Now I'm going to take Corey.
The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, what picks do we have now? We have 2 6s and a 7. I'm going to use my 7 to go after Jeremiah. I have a good feeling he'll be available. And it's not like we need him because I can move that tight end to fullback if I need to. So I'm going to trade away both of my 6s. I better be, there we go, there's a 4th. I was going to say I better be able to get at least a 5th round because it's the first pick in the 6th. So 119 from the Eagles or 122 from the Ravens. Both of them have been Super Bowl quality teams, though the AFC has been weaker, so...
Well, if you're wondering what the delay is, I think we've got a trade coming here. The Oklahoma City Nighthawks are now on the clock.
Okay, some 5s. There's a 4. Alright, so I'll take the 4.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means? We've got a trade.
Alright.
The Oklahoma
Fullback,
City Nighthawks
is he available
are now
still?
on the clock.
He is.
The Packers are now on the clock.
He ended up being a 70. So we'll make some roster moves and then see how things play out. Our quarterbacks are starting to get a little old there, huh? Okay, so sorry, Blanton, but you gone. Oh wait, you are a receiving back. But are you good enough receiving back? Because I think actually Austin ended up still being a better receiving back. There. Okay, so we have pretty good full running backs now. We have someone to do power when we need it, and then we have our elusive backs. We have 6 wide receivers. I drafted Corey McCoy just because. Don't really need him, but doesn't hurt to have him on the roster, especially since it looks like Sheriff McCollum is taking his steps backwards. Because he was like an 88 last year or something. You know what? I think I'm going to trade away Sheriff McCollum, which is unfortunate because you know you would have liked to see him retire with the team, but at this point he's taking up roster spot or playing time from these two. And remember, he's a superstar, he's a star. So these two could use field time to develop. Sheriff McCollum is still a good wide receiver, but at this point, he's holding us back. Holding back our future, anyway. Alright, tight end. Cunningham ended up being... I wonder how he is blocking. Okay, so... it's just as good in pass block, but as a tight end, we wouldn't need him there. Run blocking, he's almost as good. He's not as good at impact blocking, though, or leap blocking. I'm comparing him to Josh Miner, by the way. I'm going to move Miner to fullback just to compare. But I think Miner's going to be getting released. And then I'll develop that rookie tight end to be a blocking tight end so that we can still have some receiving ability from him. So Miner's actually a better fullback than he is tight end. Not good enough to get on the team though, so goodbye, Miner. We'll go ahead and leave Younger at right tackle because he'll probably be our future backup. And we'll have to try to find a lineman next year's draft to replace McKinney. Left end, good. Right end, good. Defensive tackle, good. I think the moves we made here are our safeties that need to be moved. I drafted this guy to be a middle linebacker. So I'm going to move them both to left outer linebacker first. And then whoever's not as good will get moved to middle linebacker. Or potentially right outer linebacker if they're better than the right outer linebacker we have. Alright, so our right outer linebacker is a 74. These guys ended up not being good at all. But we're going to move you to middle linebacker. Actually, you know what? No, we're not. You both left outer linebacker. I'm going to move Dominic Beard to middle linebacker. There. Now, I know we're going to be weak at left outer linebacker, but with this guy having a hidden develop trait, it means he's going to develop at least somewhat quickly. Yes, he doesn't have a pass rush, but he can play the pass, can tackle for us. In fact, what is his block shedding? Does it say 68? So yeah, he'll be adequate in run support and adequate in pass coverage. So as he develops, he'll be able to fill that role nicely. And then we have Harrison to back him up as well. Just comparing their stats. Yeah, Harrison is almost as good as him, just a few things that's less. That's 75 catch is going to be really nice. A outer linebacker that can defend the pass and get some picks, that's going to be nice. Okay, and then Beard, he ended up being a 62, much worse at middle linebacker than his left outer linebacker, but it keeps him on a roster. All right, now McQueen was actually we have two rookies, Burke and McQueen. I'd almost be willing to move Daryl Oliver to linebacker if he was stronger. Apologize for the train in the background, if you can hear it. Okay. I'm not going to trade any of these guys away because I think all of them are able to progress. But with that said, actually, you know what? He catches a 77, so yeah, I don't really want to take you out of that free safety spot. Yeah, we'll leave the guys how they are, and then maybe I'll play, try to play some of these guys as backups in safety, so they can get some playing time. So there we are. We don't need to make any preseason roster moves. I just need to set the depth chart and then trade away Sheriff McCollum. Bills, 79 is their best. Cowboys, and the Cowboys had the second pick last year anyway. Falcons and football team. Bills, Cowboys, Falcons, football team. Ooh, Vikings are really hurting at wide receiver. Okay, how about the Cowboys? Do they not have a first round pick next year? Oh, there it is. Alright, I think the Vikings are our best chance, or best choice here. Go for next year's first round pick, and I'll throw in a later pick, like a 4. There we go. Okay, so we got a first round pick for next year. Well, not this coming draft, the draft after. Now I just need to set up my depth chart. Wow, our defense is bad. They'll develop though. That's the reason they're bad, is because they're young. It'd be different if they were that bad. Wow, look at that. I was right. Cunningham would have made a really good tight end. In fact, I'm curious what Mitchell would be at tight end. He'd be a 53. Darn it. Okay, wide receiver. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's get Collette in here. Just back up. I'd like to get Burke more playing time because he has that development trait. That means I'd have to put him higher on the depth chart than someone who's actually better than him right now. Yeah, he should be able to get his XP as a backup. A lot of the other guys have been able to. But I will put him as a backup for safeties. Put rookie cornerbacks in there as possible kick returners too. Oops, not wise. Burke. Queen. I know it says Rashard Rucker isn't as good of a power back as Austin is, but I'm going to put him in anyway. What makes Austin a better power back? Probably the break tackle. Alright, we are ready for the season. I don't think I need to make any moves at the trade deadline, but we'll have to see once the once contracts come up. And then Benji is hurt. He is out for the entire regular season. That'll give our younger rookies some playing time. Now that trade of Sheriff McCullum doesn't look as good. Or I guess looks even worse, but next man up, I guess. Okay, so as we start week 1 of the season, we are only missing our starter at wide receiver. So we'll have to hope that our other wide receivers pick up the slack. So got a 79 and a 76 at receiver. Is this guy the star? No. But we had a wide receiver that had star potential. Huh. So I thought it was Fitzsimmons as the superstar, and then we had another. Maybe it was the tight end I was thinking about that's the star. Okay, so we have good running back, great QB, good fullback. Our wide receivers are really weak for the season. For the playoffs, we'll have Benji back. Our line is okay, average. Defensively, I think we have, we're going to have a good line once they develop. That's the key, is development. Linebackers, kind of the same thing. They're okay. Mainly they need to develop. They're young. Our safeties, Turner's, again, okay. Charles is good. Our cornerbacks are okay. So the main thing killing us on defense is just we're young. We're going to be good on defense, but for now we're young. On offense, it's also because we're young and an injury. So this won't be our best year, but every year we'll get a little bit better. Here we go. Man. Carl did not improve much that first year, but he's really starting to make a case for being a starter as we move forward. Alright, who's going to be a free agent? Benji's going to be a free agent. Wants, what, like 12 million a year or so? Trevor Charles is also going to be a free agent. We can probably get a full 7 years out of him. He wants about 10 million a year. Kay's also going to be a free agent. Yeah, we got a lot of guys that are going to be free agents that are kind of key pieces. So let's start with Trevor Charles. He wants about 11.5. Let's see. Yeah. The jerk. Benji, 4 years, 12 million. 14 million. He's a good wide receiver. I just don't think he's worth 14 million a year. And I can't trade him because he's hurt. So yeah, I'm just gonna let him go, I guess. So I guess the first thing we're going to do is scout us some wide receivers. Tyler Brown wants 2 touchdowns or 100 yards receiving. Not going to happen unless I play the game. Alright. There. Give him his $12 million a year. The only real reason I was willing to give him that $12 million is because we'll get that full 7 years out of him, and I think he's probably going to get up to the high 80s, maybe even somewhere around the 90s, before he starts to regress a bit. So we'll get our money's worth out of him. Yeah, I think I'm going to give McKay some speed rushing. Make him a dual threat end. And actually, that's right. My defensive ends I wanted to be speed rushers. Speaking of McKay, he wants about 12 million as well. Awesome. We actually got him cheaper than we did the safety, and he's probably going to have a bigger impact. Like it. McKinney, I'm not going to re-sign. Maybe in free agency, but probably not. Right, you could use some pass block. Didn't even get any pass block. I mean, he got the power and finesse, but he didn't get the actual stat. Oh yeah, his route running definitely needs to improve. It's okay, he's getting up there to be a serviceable back. They better develop quickly because he's going to be our number 2 next year as well. He's our number 2 right now. Right. We're going to go into the bye with a winning or losing record. Losing record. Alright, now because wide receiver is my biggest focus probably going into the next draft, I'll go ahead and sort out who would be the best wide receiver right now. Of course, we won't know until the scouting combine, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. Oh, I still have points left. Oh, what else do we need? Maybe continue looking at defensive backs. It always puzzles me when their best archetype is deep threat, like his is, and then you look and deep route is his worst stat. I mean, I guess that also includes. Oh no, it doesn't include medium route running. Yeah. I don't know. We do need to get his route running up though, across the board, but especially deep route, so he can stretch the field and burn them deep. He has the speed to go deep, but he also has the agility and the ability to catch in the middle. Also, our starting #1 wide receiver is the 44th best wide receiver in the league. Alright, is he at the point now as a run stopper that we can start working on his power moves? His block shedding is a little low. I would like it at 80. But I think we focus on putting pressure on the quarterback for now. And hey, I'll take block shedding from increasing power rushing. You are good on pass blocking. You do need some run block though, specifically in the power. So we'll go power block. There we go. Alright, I'm satisfied with his run block power being that now, so we can continue focusing on the agile blocking. His run blocking base stat does need to improve though. And your route running is so bad. I almost wonder, so his tackle's at 60, strength is 60. I almost wonder if he wouldn't be a really good free safety. Oh, his play recognition is a little low. Don't want him getting fooled and burned. We finally got him to 98. Michael Hayden, we want to keep you for sure. Man, 13 million on a lineman. Ouch. As of right now, he's not worth 15 million, but or 13 million. but we can't afford to go without him. So yeah. I didn't interview weekly awards. Alright, we're at the trade deadline, but I don't need to make any roster moves. I'm also going to, for now, shift my focus to the offensive line to get that taken care of. And with 21 points, we'll go scout a defensive back. There we go. That was a good point for him. Ugh. Yeah, right. 4 touchdowns or 200 yards in a game. He isn't getting that unless I play it. Whoa, are you really going to be that cheap? Oh, give me all 7 years of that. Yes, sir. Oh, man, we just got a deal. Oh, decision time on Greg Carl, darn it. Just as I started to think maybe he could be a starter for us, he wants starter money, and he's not worth starter money yet. So we're going to let him go because he's past the trade deadline. Right, so we got a couple of first-round talent people, especially him. He's going to be pretty good. I'm going to tag him right now because that's probably going to be our future right guard. So we have 2 first-round picks, second, third, 3/4. So we can get a couple of the guys we want probably. Okay. Finish off the cornerbacks. Wait, didn't we draft him to be a power back? How did he... Did I accidentally give him an elusive back point? Because it specifically said power back when we drafted him. Wow. Okay. Not gonna pay you $1.5 million. So goodbye. There, finally finished the cornerbacks. It's a weird way of holding the Microsoft Surface there. Ooh, I forgot I was going to upgrade the stadium. Those bathrooms and seating didn't get the TLC they needed, huh? Well, at this point, I might as well just wait until next season. Let's improve his blocking, that's right. Are you not the starting left outer linebacker? How do you only have 320 downs played? I wonder if they messed up my depth chart. Either that or he was hurt. He's listed as the starter. I don't know why he only has 320 downs played. He should have had that by like week 4. I feel bad. He was like a 73 overall linebacker. Probably could have got $1 million or $2 million. I moved him to middle linebacker. Now he's getting 550,000. All right. What else did we need to look at? Got wide receivers. Got our line. Got all the defensive backs. Yeah, our fullback and tight end are young. Guess I could look at linebackers. Are there any pass coverage guys? Okay, done with the linebackers. Definitely don't need defensive line. Heck, scout quarterbacks, I guess. I think Daryl Hodge is going to be someone who really gets screwed over by our switch to a Tampa 2, because he had the potential to be a really good man coverage cornerback, but we started training him in zone, and which took away the focus on the man coverage. So yeah, that switch definitely hurt him. That just might improve his power rushing because his finesse is up to 89. Or maybe I can improve his block shedding. Yeah, let's improve block shedding or run stopping, because that also improves his play recognition. Ooh. Hold them to 200 yards total or less. Or maybe he gets 2 tackle for losses, or a tackle for loss and a sack. Okay. That's the only thing left to scout are running backs. We do slot so we can get some catching traffic. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted him to get. Nice. here pretty soon. He gets a few more points in zone coverage. I'm going to have to start working on his run stopping because he'll be set for pass coverage, I would think. And maybe get that zone coverage to 80. And then the rest of it goes to run stopping. And he'll be a solid linebacker for us. Nice. His zone coverage is at 80. So I might start working on his man coverage now. Probably get his zone coverage to 80 as well, and then start doing some run support because that tackle and play recognition is really low. Danger zone. Yeah. That was a big game for us. If we would have won that game, we would have been tied with the Chiefs and have the tiebreaker, but now they got a 2-game lead on us. I might have to switch off of the agile and start going to the pass blocking and power blocking for this guy. Because he's got plenty of the agile, but he's not good at run blocking or pass blocking. Man, we lost 3 in a row. What's going on? I go run power for this guy too. Do agile for this guy. Alright, finally almost have this guy done. He only needs 45 more downs, so he should get that this game. Alright, we need to win this game. It's against the 4-11 Browns. If we lose this game, something's wrong with our team. We do have Benji Brennan back. In fact, I think we're healthy, aren't we? Been mostly healthy all season. Yeah. Alright. If we lose this, we're probably out of the playoffs. Let's see. West. So the Chiefs are wild card 2. Oh, I'm sorry, wild card 1. Bengals are 2. Titans are 3. But really, all of these teams are tied right now for the second and third. So, yeah, if we lose this, we're definitely not making the playoffs. If we win it, we're still going to need a little bit of help. We lost. Oh, man. Something broke with our team at the end of the season. We started off rough, and then we went on a big stretch. Got to 8-4. Literally only needed about one more win to make the playoffs. And then we lost 4 straight to end the season. So that's very disappointing. Not enough to fire the coach off of because, I mean, he's been an outstanding coach for us, but this is the first time in 12 years that we didn't make the playoffs. And only the second time in this entire series. I still have another year before I need to resign my resign these guys. I'm gonna go through and release all those practice squad guys. Most of them. Oh, not Casey. All 10 of them were wide receivers. Alright, let's look at the stats, and then we'll get through the playoffs, and that'll be the end of this season. So Schwartz had about an average year, maybe a little bit above average on the touchdown to interception ratio, but down on yards and completion percentage. Byron Austin had a down year running the ball, had about 300 yards less than last year. Now, granted, we did make Rucker the power back, which took carries away from Byron Austin. But I still think Byron Austin should have probably had just more carries throughout the season, even despite losing some of his carries. Maybe next year we put him back into playing all 3 downs. I mean, Rashad Rucker did get 3.1 a carry, which isn't bad, and 5 touchdowns. Maynard got 3.1 as well, only 1 touchdown. Yeah, his running performance was down this year for sure. Receiving, Fitzsimmons had a 1,000-yard year, 11 touchdowns. Gillisley, almost 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Brown, a little over 750, 4 touchdowns. And McCoy, about 550 for 5 touchdowns. And you know what might have also happened is with us not having as big of a passing threat this year, because our wide receivers weren't as good, they could probably key into the run a little bit more. So now he did get 3.8 yards a carry, which is still good per carry. Talking about Byron Austin, that is. But not having a strong receiving game definitely hurt us. Blocking, I had a little bit of a rough year at left tackle, and one extra sack from the average for left guard. Defensively, middle linebacker, right outer linebacker led the team in tackles. Then a couple cornerbacks, and then our safeties. So our defensive line definitely didn't really do much for tackles. How about for sacks? Okay, so we did get 8.5 and 8 sacks out of our left and right end defensive, just respectively. Completely blanked on that. Baptista got 7 sacks. Brewer only had 1. How many downs are you playing? You're playing 802. He's playing 825, so they're playing the same. It's just Brewer is not producing as much as he should be. Because we really need each lineman to average at least 8 sacks a game, which we almost got, but Brewer really dropped the ball there. And I mean, our defense is definitely missing Myles Garrett's 20 sacks a season. Oh yeah, sorry. Interceptions. Okay, so we got 5 out of our right outer linebacker. That's a huge year for a linebacker. 3 from, yeah, he's our starting corner. 3 from our rookie left outer linebacker, so a good year for him considering he was only a 70 overall to start the season. Elias got 2. Turner got 2. We got a few people that had 1. Yeah, I had a feeling it would be a rough year. I just didn't think we'd miss the playoffs. Whitfield went 85%. We just need to progress is all. You know, we develop our players, we'll get better, and we'll have a dominant team again. This is obviously the worst team we've had in over a decade because we didn't make the playoffs, but I'm also confident that this team will get back to Super Bowl contention. So let's go ahead and sim to the Super Bowl week so we can see yearly award winners, do a little scouting, and then see who wins the Super Bowl. So it's going to be the Cardinals versus the Ravens. So I guess it's a good thing I took the Eagles pick over the Ravens. Alright, Lamar Jackson with his 700th MVP. Tyler Schwartz finished 5th. And we definitely didn't get Coach of the Year because we didn't even make the playoffs. Roman Cummings got Defensive Player of the Year. You get 5 interceptions as a linebacker and as many tackles as he did, you're probably going to be in the running for it. So really happy with the production that he gave us this year. I'm hoping that continues because that Tampa 2, not many people like it as much anymore, but it is a big pass coverage defense. So as we build up our defensive backs and linebackers to be pass coverage guys, we should be able to stop the pass quite a bit. And we need to develop our defensive line to rush the passer to force those mistakes. We'll probably be a little weak when it comes to stopping the run. But in today's NFL, you're going to get more out of passing the ball than running the ball. Rookie of the Year, McCoy got 4th. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Joe Brown, 3rd. Almost thought he should have had 1st with 3 interceptions as a linebacker. I mean, I guess he probably could have had more tackles. So yeah. Anybody to upgrade? Cummings got an upgrade point for winning that award. That's right. I said I want to get him to 80 and then work on his run block or run stop. And he didn't even get a zone coverage point there. Oh, he got 3 points. Or he got 4 points total from that. And definitely putting at least 1 in run stopper. Yeah, I want 1 more on pass coverage. We'll probably be able to give him some run stop. Oh, we'll definitely be able to give him some run stopping next year. Oh, I thought that would have put him at 80. That's okay. We can afford to give him some run stopping points now to get that play recognition and block shedding up, and then he's going to be a really dominant linebacker. I didn't realize he was a superstar. Maybe I did. I don't remember. However, he's also going to be in a contract year next year, which means it's going to be really expensive. We have the money though, and he's going to be it's going to be worth it. That's for sure. I almost wish I could re-sign him now before he gets too expensive. All right. Do a scouting. I don't know what I'm going to do with my scouting points in the off season because I've scouted pretty much everything. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else for me to really scout. I guess I'll just go through the tight ends. And the Super Bowl champions are the Ravens. So, that'll be the end of season 14. Thank you for watching. Sorry that it was a little bit of a disappointing season, but you know, when you make the moves that we've made over the last 3 years of trading away pretty much every major piece that we had, you're going to take steps back, and that's exactly what we did. Every year we took a step back, but also every year set us up to have a better future. And sometimes, an NFL is the league or a league of parity, so you're going to have some years where you don't make the playoffs. In fact, only missing the playoffs twice in 14 years, that's still really good, especially considering I fully expect that we'll compete for the playoffs next year and within a couple years be Super Bowl contenders again. So yeah, anyway, thank you again for watching. Tune in tomorrow for season 15. Have a good one.